And they're all locked away and set for the Cup of 94. Light on. Racing. Paris Lane jump well towards the inside. A little slow, it's all in fun. Rough Habit and Sari Club, along with Impressor, all ease back, crossing over. Tenor jump well, so too there over on the outside, Starstruck, who's going forward, and Fraternity fired up early. Out wide, Alcove and Impressor have both gone towards the leaders. Gold Sovereign at the post the first time, joined by Alcove, who's moved up to second. Impressor is third. It's all in fun over on the inside, fourth turning out of the straight, and then Fraternity. He's on the outside of Paris Lane, about sixth on the rail. Gossip's trapped out at the first turn. Next, Bullwinkle, Starstruck. Over on the fence then came Tenor, followed by Dark Czar, caught a little wide. Next, Air Seattle, followed then by Our Pompeii. Hear That Bell, Sari Club. Well back is Navy Seal, and Umpala and Rough Habit are the last two. It's Gold Sovereign, 1,600 to go, leading 2 lengths now. Alcove sits second, a length and a half further back is Oppressor on the inside of It's All in Fun going forward. Further back then Gossips, Paris Lane having a good run, one Fraternity. Next is Tenor over on the inside of Bullwinkle. Starstruck is next. Then Dark Czar the outside. One to Air Seattle. A length and a half to Hear That Bell. They're being followed then by Our Pompeii, Navy Seal, Sari Club, Rough Habit second last, and Umpala. Over the hill at the 1,200. And the leader Gold Sovereign. It's a truly run cup. He's 2.5 in front. It's All in Fun as second. 3 lengths further back is Alcove. A length and a half then to Gossips, followed by Oppressor. 1.5 to Paris Lane. 2 lengths further back is Tenor, who's following Paris Lane. Fraternity the outside, next to length and a half away, Bullwinkle. He's followed by Starstruck, Dark Czar, Air Seattle, and then came Our Pompeii. Hear That Bell a long way back on the inside. 2 or 3 lengths further back in the field, then came Sari Club and Navy Seal. Umpala and Rough Habit is last of all. At the 600, Gold Sovereign by 2 lengths, It's All in Fun, 2.5 to Alcove. Oppressor the inside, hard ridden. Here's Paris Lane. Paris Lane starting his run around the home turn. Tenor gets off the fence coming home. Fraternity out wide, staking a claim, and Bullwinkle with a run. Out wide then came Our Pompeii. It's All in Fun, led the field into the straight. Paris Lane after him from Alcove. Then came Tenor. It's All in Fun, grabbed by Paris Lane and Alcove. Paris Lane at the 200 took the lead from Alcove. Tenor down the outside, but Paris Lane broke away. He's home, Paris Lane's cup. 2 lengths Alcove and Tenor, and Paris Lane wins it. A length and a half to Alcove. Third is Tenor. Then Oppressor, Starstruck, and It's All in Fun. Gossip, Sari Club. Next in Air Seattle, and they were followed further back in the field by Hear That Bell, Fraternity, Rough Habit, Gold Sovereign, Bullwinkle, Our Pompeii, Dark Czar, and Umpala was second last. Navy Seal was last in the 94 Foster's Caulfield Cup.
Great call from Greg, and it's a Favourites Cup, number 9, Paris Lane, $4.50 and $2.10. 14, Alcove, $3.60, and number 10, Tenor, to return $3.60.
An emphatic victory by the favourite Paris Lane, ridden by Damien Oliver, his second victory, and also the second win in the race for Lee Friedman. A perfect ride, a charmed run, and a magnificent win by the favourite Paris Lane. Number 9, the winner. Second is number 14, Alcove, ridden by Patrick Payne. 2 of the nation's leading riders have quineled the race, and the well-tried Tenor, ridden by Grant Cooksley, is third. The time is 2:26.5. 2:26.5 is a new record. A new record, breaking Sobar and Silver Bounty's time of 2:27.1. They've smashed it. Magnificent victory. And the favourite has taken it out, and in fact they've run faster time than Tulloch in 1957. Tulloch won in 2:26.9, running a longer journey, of course, but this is a magnificent victory by Paris Lane. Oh, Brendan Cormack from the Australian. You got Lee Friedman.
Yes, well, we had him, but he's just slipped away. But I'll grab one of the other brothers here. Lee said straight after the line that he was terribly thrilled with the win, because this horse actually was ridden perfectly by Damien Oliver this afternoon. It was a terribly good ride on his part, and a beautifully judged one at that as well. Some very happy owners down here, about 39 owners in the group apparently. And Richard Friedman is with me at the moment. Richard, must be a great thrill.
Oh, fantastic thrill. You don't come along every day, Caulfield Cups, but this horse has come a long way. We had him very young as a, he's nothing early, but he's really put in leaps and bounds, and we're really happy.
And a track record to boot?
Track record, well, it's probably the day for it. It's a good hot day, and he sat right on a fast pace, but it's a testament to the horse that he was strong enough to keep going and win.
Where does he go now?
Well, that's the point. I suppose we've got to run him in the Melbourne Cup now.
You're not tempted? He's still entered for the Cox Plate? You're not tempted there?
Wait till he cools down. We don't make those decisions on race day. You know that, Brendan.
OK, then. Thanks a lot, Richard Friedman, joining us here after the Caulfield Cup win of Paris Lane, Greg.
Yes, Paris Lane, a magnificent win. He never went through the sale ring, and it's obvious when you have a good look at this horse. He is not one of the prettiest sights around. He's got a walk on him like a street fighter, but when he gets to galloping, it's a completely different action. He's won by a length and 3/4 between second and third, 1 3/4 away to the fourth horse, 2:26.5, running a new course record. With great pace in the race set by Gold Sovereign, making it obvious that it was going to be a true staying test. Those minor doubts about this horse's ability to run 2400 totally dispelled, and Oliver just timing his run beautifully. He had the lap full of horse at the right time and set him away below the 200 and had them well covered. Couldn't have been a more emphatic win, in fact. Alcove's run the race of her life on a late preparation, and Tommy Hughes Jr. has done a wonderful job with this mare. He's only 28 years of age, first top horse that he's really had, and he's been able to win an Oaks and run second in a Caulfield Cup. Paddy just giving her a little pat down the neck. He knows that she couldn't have done any better. Damien Oliver coming back, giving the double-fisted punch in the air. His second Cup winner. Only 3 rides in the race. He won it on Mannerism a couple of years ago on a bog track when he pipped out Viander Cross, and we've seen 2 perfect rides from Damien to win the Cup on 2 occasions. You'll get a big rousing reception, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Paris Lane, the favoured winner of the Caulfield Cup. Damien Oliver and Lee Friedman combined for their second win in the race. Paris Lane by Persian Heights from French Twist, raced by the William Street numbers 11 and 12 syndicates, managed by Andrew Ramsden, R. Clements and R.S. Lodge. Paris Lane taking out the Caulfield Cup and smashing the course record. Number 14, Alcove by Alquahira from Bridget, is second, trained by Tommy Hughes Jr. and ridden by Patrick Payne. And third, number 10, Tenor by Star Watch from Damsel, trained by Grant Cooksley, or ridden by Grant Cooksley for John Hawkes.
Yes, and Greg Miles, tremendous call of the big race there, and you've got to commend Greg Miles. He has tipped the Quinella. He didn't quite get first, second and third, but he's gone 1-2 with his selections. 9, Paris Lane, 14, Alcove, and number 10, Tenor. I suppose that was appropriate. Wasn't a 10 Tenor, but Greg had gone with his third place. I think he'd gone number, let me see, it was about number 17, Oppressor. So 1-2, not a bad effort by our gun race caller, Greg Miles. Still to come from Caulfield this afternoon on Grandstand. We've got the Caulfield Sprint over 1,100 metres coming up in, let me see, it's in about half an hour's time with, of course, Scalacci engaged in that one. Scalacci, the great sprinter, looking for his first win since March, and in fact his first run since March, I think it is, but thereabouts. But Scalacci returning to the racetrack today. Sections in this race, 6 You Remember from 8 Belzevere and 1 Scalacci. Scalacci for third, according to Greg Miles, who went 1-2 in the Cup itself. Let's see how he does this time. Back to Caulfield and Greg Miles.
And again, we welcome our grandstand listeners. The Caulfield Sprint here. Interest with the return of Scalacci, as we've just been hearing. He's on the comeback trail here. He won a trial on Tuesday. I came out and saw him. He didn't beat much, but he looked pretty good in doing what he did. However, he has been very, very easy on course. You Remember has been very heavily backed. It's going to start very tight. Number 6, You Remember, 260 and 140. Very good record at the track. Scalacci, very easy, $5.80 and $2.20 for the place. Number 2, All Our Mob, is at $7.40 and $2.30. And they're the main ones in the market. Belzevere over the odds on the tote at $10.30 and $2.80. Great victory by Paris Lane in the Caulfield Cup. Broke the course record here. Dazzling performance. And he foiled a plunge on Tenor. It was one of the biggest plunges in a Caulfield Cup for years. He halved his opening quote, and he did open at double-figure odds in the race. Paris Lane did run the firm favourite by the same token, but Tenor was sensationally backed in the race into third place. The El Quahira mare, Alcove, running the Quinella in a wonderful cup victory, and it was well received, owned by around over 30 members in the syndicates that race him, and largely the same people who won the Melbourne Cup with Gurners Lane back in 1982. A long while between drinks for them. A lot of bad horses they've had since then, but I can tell you they relished the presentation in the mounting enclosure. There'll be a party somewhere in Melbourne tonight, you can bet your life. They're just about ready to go here. Hero Win coming up. Blue Boss will be one of the last to line in. You remember, with a great record here at Caulfield, is nicely gated out of number 9. Comes into the stalls with a couple of scratchings to about number 7 here. Now Blue Boss is going to be the last up. Over on the outside, coming into the stalls now. Placed in an Oakley plate, he's only run over this course and journey.